It's so grainy. It's dark in here. Does it matter that it's grainy? People hate it. Maybe. Maybe. I quite like it. Looking at the grain, actually, looking at the grain. There's something quite hypnotic about looking at the grain, which is a bit weird. It's kind of fuzzy. Actually feels a bit like my life at the moment. It's actually representing the fuzziness of my thinking, my life, everything about my life at the moment. It all feels a bit fuzzy actually. I should have not mentioned that, but because then I could have made out as if the graininess is on purpose, like I've done it as a masterpiece. I don't even know what I'm talking about. I think I commonly say I don't know what I'm talking about on here.
And in this video, we are going to look at how to create a radar chart.
So I've moved to the window. I just thought that moving to the window would probably be better. So I've just moved to the window. Oh God, things are so bad at the moment. Things are so bad. So I did kind of say that I haven't been into work, and I'm still just struggling and wondering how I'm going to get to work at this moment in time. It's really difficult because I'm a mental health nurse. And part of me just feels like such a hypocrite at this moment in time. I just feel like such a hypocrite having to go into work and talk to parents and young people and encourage them to do various different things to improve their mental health. And yet I'm not doing what I'm telling them to do. I mean, I've tried to rationalise it. At the end of the day, I've probably been feeling like this for a very long time. And I've seen a lot of really awful things over my time in mental health. And so, 20 odd years of seeing really difficult things, I think is very different to being a young teenager who's going through difficulties. I'm not saying it's any better or any worse, it's just I've got to try, in some ways I've got to try to not feel, I don't know what I'm talking about. Oh my God. Oh God. This isn't what I want to say. So. What is the purpose of this video right now? Okay, so yeah, I'm feeling really, really difficult. It's one thing's really difficult at the minute, and I know that I'm finding it hard to. The thought of going back into work, into an environment where I'm just a complete hypocrite, is really difficult at the moment. My situation is different to those young people, but at the same time, I still should be taking my own advice, which I'm not doing. I can just see myself just getting lower and lower, more hopeless, more helpless, more demoralised because we're not doing enough. We're just not doing enough as a society. And I could try and change my thought. I could try and challenge my thought in the CBT way. I could try and look at things differently. But part of me thinks that the reason why I'm feeling so demoralised is because something's I don't know what I'm saying. I don't know what I'm saying. Oh my gosh. This feeling I've got inside me, I think is telling me something. I think I could accept it and change something and do something radical, or I could learn to just accept it and challenge it. My brain is not working at the moment. I just have no clue what I'm saying. No clue what I'm going on about at the moment. Everything is so difficult. Just basic thinking is so difficult at the moment. I just don't understand what I'm talking about. I don't even know what I'm talking about. I've noticed that I find it really hard to actually articulate myself at the moment. I just used to be very good at talking. I used to be very clear about what I wanted to say, but I've noticed recently I've been out of practice talking to people. I don't remember actually having a serious conversation with anyone for any length of time for a long time. And when you haven't spoke to somebody about important things for any period of time or any length of time, you become really bad at it. It's not easy to just string a sentence together that's meaningful. I was thinking that recently. I was thinking, I can't remember when I had a lengthy, interesting, engaged conversation with somebody. And I think I'm the kind of person that I need to have that. I need to have that conversation with somebody, because if you don't have that conversation, your brain becomes numb, becomes inactive. I haven't been having any of those important conversations in my work. I think that's one thing I'm lacking a little bit at this moment, is those conversations. I used to at least find a bit of time, because when I used to work 12-hour shifts, which I've done for most of my life, when I used to work 12-hour shifts, there were spells, where you could have a 15-20-minute conversation that was meaningful, that was interesting, that was stimulating, that was varied. But now I think the nature of my job is I do a lot of talking about the same thing, but I don't really have any conversations. And it's really difficult because at the moment I think the conversation, when I'm just doing all the talking, I'm not even really believing in what I'm saying at this moment in time. I think there's a logic to what I talk a lot about cognitive behavioural therapy. Do a lot of talking about cognitive behavioural. That was all black a minute ago. Why has that changed? Oh, that's so annoying. When it does that. Oh, let me just change this. I prefer it when it was black in the background. I don't know how that's done that. Is that me that's done that? I think it's better when it's black and you don't see the grain as much. So I do a lot of talking about cognitive behavioural therapy, and it's logical. It does. If you subscribe to it and really work on, sort of challenging thoughts, I honestly think that it can be really effective in changing your feelings and other parts of your being. I do believe it makes sense, doesn't it? But for me, I think there's this a bit of a... Sometimes your feelings are telling you something. So even the feelings that you're having that are really, really bad and awful. So in this case, I'm feeling a lot of anxiety, a lot of low mood, and probably depression, getting towards there. I don't think it is depression at this moment in time. I don't think it is. Because I can still get up. I can still... sort of put on a bit of a front. I can put on a bit of a show in front of people. I think if I was depressed, I'd struggle to actually pretend that everything's okay. So I think it's still really low mood rather than depression. But anyway, my point is that, these horrible feelings that I'm having, this anxiety, this low mood at this moment, I think it's telling me something. It's telling me something. And I could challenge you. I could challenge that. I could change that. I could change those feelings over time with the cognitive behavioural therapy, challenging my thoughts, my belief systems. I could. But part of me thinks, no. If you challenge your thoughts, you're not listening to something that's going on within you. Something within me is trying to communicate that something isn't right. So I could mask that. I could challenge my thoughts. I could, and maybe it does make me feel different. But the thing is, I know that why I'm feeling low and anxious at the moment is a whole host of things. And one of those things is because I look at the world around me and I just feel a little bit hopeless and helpless. I feel really hopeless and helpless. I feel like there's no possible way that I'm ever going to have the impact I want in the world. I'm never going to make a real difference. And that's quite painful, actually, because I always thought I could do more. I always thought that people would tell me, people say, just be satisfied with making a little bit of a difference. I don't know, it's very difficult when you really care about the world, when you really care about people, and you see all the shit that's going on, all the crap that's going on, and somebody says, oh, well, just do your little bit and it'll all be better. But that doesn't stop the fact that there's really awful things going on in the world. So it's all very well somebody saying, oh, you do your bit. If everyone did their bit, it'll be well. But I still look out in the world, and yes, I may do my bit for the next 30, 40 years, but the reality is that bit, I'm still going to be observing the world outside me. And then the way I'm supposed to deal with that world outside me is to challenge my thoughts and challenge my core beliefs so that I come to accept, so I have to come to radically accept that all that is going on just to make me feel good. Well, no, I think it's right to feel pretty awful that there's hunger and starvation and pain and suffering and anger and aggression and crime and inequality. I think it's right to feel really shit. I think sometimes I think to myself, the way I'm feeling is right. Like I'm feeling so awful inside, and I think, well, if you're looking out in the world and seeing all that's going on, well, that's right. And it's only through trickery, sort of cognitive trickery, that we can overcome that. And I don't think that I should be overcoming it. I just don't think I should be overcoming, this feeling. I feel like I should be feeling horrible, and then that will lead me not just to do my little bit, but do something bigger, do something more important, do something grander. Go and protest or whatever. I don't know what it is. I just don't know what it is. And I don't even know if protesting is enough. Because I don't know. I just don't know what the right thing to do is. I just have no idea. This is the problem with me being chaotic. You know stuff is wrong. You really want to do something good, but you can't. You're incapable of actually doing any good because of your chaos. So it's like a vicious cycle. And and again, I'm just supposed to accept that. You must radically accept, Mark. Change your thoughts, challenge your thoughts, change your core beliefs, and then you can go and live a life like everyone else. I don't know if I can do that. I don't know if I can be that way. And I bet there's people like me out there. I know there's people like me out there who's feeling this. There's people who could just get on with it. Just looking like a pathetic idiot. Just looking like a pathetic idiot. I'd love to just be able to toughen up and just go on, and like I've said before, I'd just like to go and work hard and accept that the world is shit around at times. I mean, it's not, that's so pessimistic. There's beauty in the world, there's goodness in the world, but there's still shit. And I do focus on the good. I do focus on the beautiful, the amazing, the wondrous. That's what gets me through. That's what makes me believe that something good can come from us. I hold on to those things. I hold on to those, positive facets of humankind. I do. I really hold on to them. If I didn't have those, then I don't even think I'd be having this conversation now. Another reason why I'm feeling really shit, feeling really awful. The other reason I'm feeling really awful is because I'm just so aware of my limitations. Like, I'm just so aware of my limitations. Like, I'm so aware of my limitations. This is going to be a running theme, I think, because I could try and look at a piece of literature or a piece of scientific research or anything that's relatively complex. I just don't understand. I just don't understand things. I just don't get it. And you just think, well, what chance is there of someone like me really doing anything that's important, significant, helpful, useful, good? Maybe I just need to know my place. Maybe I just need to know my place. Know my level. I think that's something, isn't it? We've all got our levels, haven't we? Maybe maybe I just need to know my level and just stick to that. Maybe my level is just doing a little bit of good in my little sphere. Do you know what? I just don't understand. There's so many people who lack compassion out there in the world. I just don't. There's so many people out there who lack compassion. I just wouldn't give a shit. Just don't give a shit. Just don't care. You know what? I'm my own worst enemy because I'm idle. I'm an idle human being, and this is the worst. I've got the worst combination possible in a human. I'm anxious. I'm idle. I'm selfish. I lack resilience. Do people actually want things to change? Do people actually want, or do we just want to keep things as they are? Sort of getting as much comfort and safety as we can. Comfort, safety, a little prestige, bit of love. Bit of sensation seeking. Is this what we are? people even want to kind of start a revolution when most people have those in enough quantities. Most people have a bit of love, a little bit of nice sensation, nice comfort. Oh, God's sake! You know what? I'm giving up. I'm not talking anymore. I can't talk anymore. I actually can't talk anymore. I actually don't know what to say anymore. I'm not a good role model for this. I'm not. There's so many smart people out there in the world, but they're not doing anything though. This is the thing that frustrates me, I think. There's lots of smart people, but they're not really trying to change much. They're doing their little bit, like I should be doing in my small sphere. They're doing a little bit of good in their own small sphere, but personally, I think that if you've got the intelligence, if you've got the, that X factor, then you should be, we should be having revolutions every week, just to progress the species. What am I doing? What are we doing? But they're not. I think that's the thing that's frustrating me. People who are able, they're not doing anything. They're not radically changing anything. That's a belief. That's a really simple belief to say that we're not changing enough. But I don't feel like we are changing enough. I don't think we're progressing at the rate that we should be progressing. Controlled by fear. So really, to summarise, once again, I'm a bit lost for words. I don't really know what I'm talking about. I'm still not able to work at the moment. Feeling really helpless, feeling really hopeless, feeling anxious most of the time. I'm really aware of my limitations. I'm aware that there are so many really intelligent human beings out there. I just wish that they were doing more. I wish that they were doing more. So I think I don't know what's next really. So we'll see. But yeah, it's very difficult when you know your limitations. I think. I mean, people will say that that's good that you know your limitations, but when you're feeling shit, when you're feeling awful, when you're low and anxious, and you're not currently able to even just do simple stuff and work and be effective, it's very difficult to think that your limitations are a strength, or it's good that you know your limitations. Because I think in my case, knowing my limitations isn't going to improve those limitations. I'm never going to be, my IQ is never going to change dramatically. My IQ is never going to change dramatically. And so, knowing my limitation is not going to change much. So again, I'm the only solution to that is to do a bit of cognitive behavioural therapy, challenge my thoughts. Is there any way that I can look at this differently? Well, some of the smartest people in the world haven't done good. Some of the least smartest people have done real good. Oh, I don't know. Anyway, I'm rambling now. I'm rambling. Goodbye. That's me done.